Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we present to you a very special prediction show for Heels Up, with always your host, let's say Valentine, and the only man that matters, Reggie Lincoln.
How are you doing, folks?
How's it going? How's it going, everyone?
Welcome to a very, very special episode of Heels Up, our first ever prediction episode for WWE pay-per-view, Extreme Rules Horror Show. Spooky, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think spooky is the purple and neon green 1990s color scheme they picked for this episode, which actually, it does remind me of like a cheap Thunder thing, but I kind of like it. All right, guys. We're going to go over each match for Extreme Rules, and we're going to give our predictions, and we're going to do a fault for this video next week, and we're going to see who did the best.
Let's see.
Should we put a bet on this, mate? Should we get?
I'm too broke to bet anything right now. We don't got enough subscribers for this right now.
Well, what about something simple like whoever gets the least buys the pizza?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Well, I'm not making it something expensive. I'm not saying whoever loses has to buy my fucking alcohol for the night.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta eat
You're
anyways.
right. Yeah, we still got to eat anyway, yeah.
I need something to absorb some of the alcohol, so, breadsticks and such.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
All right.
So bet's on.
Or, here's another option for you.
Yo, what's up?
Winner gets to pick the next movie for our Ramble On review.
Oh.
I like that one because it provides content too.
Yes, it does.
Yes, but pizza provides content to my belly.
Yeah, I'd rather go with the pizza, honestly. All right.
What, good sir, Caden, is our first match of the night?
Alright, our first match tonight is probably going to be the pre-show match, which is going to be Biggie and Kofi versus Cesaro and Shinsuke.
That's a pre-show?
It's going to be a pre-show match because Vince McMahon hates tag team wrestling.
Oh, and tag team my thing.
All right.
It's going to be a tables match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Tables match for the SmackDown WWE Tag Team Championship. Who do you got, Reg? Do it. Get up and do it. Don't be bashful. We can't see your hips, but I'm on it.
Yeah. But yep, New Day. They retain and show why they're the greatest tag team in WWE history. New Day.
Caden.
Alright, I am also in the boat with Reggie Lincoln with New Day. Either way, I think in the end, the fans are going to be the winners. The New Day always put on a great match.
Hell of a show.
Is pound for pound the greatest wrestler in WWE at the moment.
Who is?
Cesaro.
Okay.
And Shinsuke, you just gotta love the artist.
Which is why I'm choosing Cesaro and Shinsuke.
What?
I am. I know it doesn't seem like a sure lock because the New Day is the safe bet to have as champions because they're tried and true. But I think with Cesaro and Shinsuke at this point in time, you kind of let them fade in the background enough that if you don't let them have this championship and they have to go away and try and come back again later, you've kind of shot all their credibility. You have to have them win right now and then have New Day beat them at a bigger pay-per-view later.
Oh, well.
Next up.
Alright, so it looks like for the first match on the actual main card itself, it's going to be Apollo Crews versus MVP for the United States Championship.
That belt is so pretty.
Mr. Caden, you're up first this time, brother.
Alright, right now I'm going to go with MVP. He is on upward swing. You got to know at some point Bobby Lashley is going to sneak in there and interfere. And of course, with MVP being who he is, he's going to distract the referee and get that dirty win.
I am totally agreeing with my man Caden here. I think for the exact same reasons. It's going to be an MVP night.
Ooh. Well, you know what? I guess that makes three of us. They bringing back one of the greatest United States champions to ever grace WWE. And, you can't go wrong putting that belt on MVP. But it showed before. It will show again. I think MVP's time is coming back.
And I think the shenanigans and him getting the championship and gloating with it are going to lead to more storylines than just Apollo retaining. So
Yeah, 'cause
I think you write yourself into a better position letting MVP take that belt.
Yes, like
Especially if Bobby wants it from him at some point.
ooh. Hey, we'll see what happens. Well, I think it's going to be a good match. Apollo's going to show some great athleticism, but the numbers game and experience is going to catch up to him.
We'll see how it goes. All right, what's next?
All right, after that, it looks like it's going to be Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in the Eye for an Eye match.
All right, I'll go first here on this one, gentlemen. I think we are going to get some sort of damn DQ because there ain't no way anyone's losing fucking an eye. This is a stupid thing to do because I know as soon as you put a stipulation that you can't pay off, I'm not going to get fuck all when it comes to a resolution for this thing.
DQ's in this match.
I don't know. All right, DQ, a scrum, a melee, Vince's car blowing up, and then he has to come back the next night because Chris Benoit died. Like, something. Something is going to happen to where I'm not going to get a resolution out of this fucking thing. And it pisses me off because this is a good storyline that deserves a resolution, and I'm not getting it tomorrow night, and I know I'm not getting it tomorrow night. So,
okay.
I think that's your turn now, Reggie.
so no resolution, whatever that may be.
I'm a little questionable about this storyline, this match, an eye for an eye match. Like, they didn't even do anything like this in the Attitude Era.
They're not going to do anything like it in this era. They can't. What are you worried about?
You know, since Ray is like talking about retiring, you know, Seth got that one thing on the way. Ray.
If you're going to pick someone, pick the person who's not leaving the company.
That's the thing.
Like, his contract's coming up, isn't it? Have we got any news on that? Is it resolved? I haven't checked in.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything on it.
I'll have to look. I'm going to be woefully behind, and I'm just ignorant.
Seth might have to go on paternity leave soon.
But no one's selling an eye patch the rest of their damn career. I guess Ray could keep wearing that little black visor he has over his mask or whatever.
Spider-Man sunglasses going on.
Yeah, I guess he'd rock that forever, but who wants to do that bullshit? If anyone's willing to go through that kind of crap, it would be Ray.
I guess.
All right, what's next?
I guess that's my turn. Yeah, I'm going to throw this one for a loop, and I'm going to say Dom wins.
Oh,
Because he
shit.
either comes in and saves his father and, you know, gets over as the hero, or he turns on his father and, you know,
That's
he's
the
over as the
only.
villain.
That's the only good ending I could think of for this
Either
storyline.
way, Dom wins.
We do kind of want to see this end with Dom
Turn it on Ray.
turn it on Ray because we think that's probably the most interesting way to go to make him one of Seth's disciples. But I also don't want to see him start his real wrestling career until he's like his dad can put a mask on his face. So I think that would be a memorable moment that would live through the ages. So either way, like if they make him kind of the same role he is now, where he's not really wrestling that much, then make him Seth's disciple for now. And then later on, when he comes back around to his dad, then he can start his career and his dad can give him the mask.
The betrayal of Seth. He dons a mask.
He puts that one that fucking Seth keeps putting on people on. He puts that on and whips Seth, gives Seth the 619 or something. No, that's not a bad idea. What's next?
Alright, after that, it looks like it's going to be the swamp fight with Braun and Ray.
All right.
This is your first.
Yeah, okay. You know, I love this story. I love everything about Bray except him getting my crush JoJo pregnant. But, well, twice at that.
How do you think I feel knowing Ember Moon is only minutes away from me with another man? Heartbreaking.
With this, I love the storyline. I love they're going back to the Bray Wyatt of old. You okay, buddy?
Sorry, what's that?
You okay?
A little bit.
All right. So with this, and it's a non-title match, right?
Yes.
I just ran out.
Title match.
Oh, you just ran out?
Just ran out.
But with this being a non-title match and Bray actually have home field advantage because he's already inside Braun's head, I'm going with Bray Wyatt here. You know, come on now. This is at the Swamp. You know, who's better at the Swamp than Bray?
Exactly. And I don't know if you can tell by my outfit here that I, too, am also going for Bray Wyatt.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be one of those phenomenal movie matches that they got going on.
You guys picked the Mr. Wyatt?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You know that Bray Wyatt's my favorite wrestler wrestling, and he's the reason why I came back to wrestling after a 10-year hiatus. But it's not the time yet. This is the three faces of Wyatt, and we all know that the thing that's going to vanquish the monster will be the Fiend. So, that being said, this is going to be another one for the monster among men, Mr. Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's going to get this one, and then eventually he's going to get the Fiend, and the Fiend's going to take him to the woodshed. That's the order of things. We're just reintroducing this version of Bray because it's poignant to who Braun is, and we can start doing the three faces of Wyatt, which is what I'm really hoping for. But he's done so much to establish that character was a failure. He even did the whole chainsawing with the cardboard cutout. I don't see that as the thing that's able to vanquish Braun Strowman when he, in his new persona, has already admitted that was a failure.
Yeah.
So I don't see it this time, boyos. I see it as a close one, but I see Braun overcoming again in something that will further psychologically damage him. And again, it's not a non-title match. It doesn't matter. But when they get back to another title match between the two, it'll be against the Fiend. And Braun will be slowly deteriorating to that point where he's much more vulnerable to the Fiend's attacks and everything. So I think each one of these things, each one of these obstacles that Bray's throwing in his way that isn't the Fiend is just a further way to lessen and weaken Bray and make him more vulnerable to everything. Because it's not just a physical attack the Fiend does. It's psychological, it's spiritual, it's everything. And the only reason I'm talking about it in such depth is because the fucking Bray Wyatt, the man himself is incredibly deep and thoughtful and puts that much thought and depth into his characters. So given free reign, he could plan a story as good as, Tolkien. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's capable of those things. So if this is what they're going for, I just don't think it's time for the Fiend to win, or for Bray Wyatt to win in any form. I think you got to save that for the Fiend.
All right, what we got next here, man?
All right, after that, it looks like it's going to be Bayley versus Nikki Cross for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
You're first, Caden.
All right.
My vote is going to be for Nikki Cross. The whole being down and the golden role models bagging on her, making her a bully, I think that's going to be a nice picture story for some of the audience members. The plucky underdog overcomes the jealous mean girl.
I'm going to disagree with you, sir. I think that Nikki is not going to be a face of the company with that accent. I think that's how Vince thinks, unfortunately. You know me, I think that accent's fucking sexy as hell.
Yes, it is.
Drew's more so. But I think the story they're desperately going to tell, wanting to tell, regardless of how shitty these people have been, as far as BS, Bayley and Sasha being crappy bullies and stuff. The story I think they want to tell is those two having rivaling titles and getting into who's better pissing contest. Something that's going to break those two apart through their egos. I think the best way to do that is probably to give them both the belts. So that being said, Bayley retains because she's more useful as a champion than Nikki is. Now, again, you can tell the implosion through a bunch of different ways. She can lose the title and Sasha loses and they're just the tag team champions, and maybe the Kabuki Warriors be in the next line, they lose all their belts and then they implode. That's another way to go. But it might be more interesting and more compelling to see them implode at the top, because you always want to see people at the top fall, not people who've already become pathetic fall. So it's better to build them both up to the pinnacle and let them just eat each other alive at the top and just tear themselves both down like crabs in a bucket. I think that's going to be the best story to tell.
Well, this story isn't over. This story is just beginning. It's still just beginning. We haven't even reached the climax of the story of Bayley being champion. So with that being said, Bayley is the winner of this. I mean, her and Sasha.
I wish I could have joined on this one, man. I wish I could have joined Caden on this one.
First of all, Nikki, she's got a lot more building to do, a lot more growing to do before she becomes champion of SmackDown, and pretty much Bayley. I'm telling you, this story between her and Sasha is still going. And you know what? This is going to work out just fine for Bayley.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, Sasha's going to interfere or whatever. Or Sasha of course, Alexa's going to interfere along with it. But Bayley's just going to outsmart Nikki.
Yeah.
Maybe even with another roll-up pin with the feet on the ropes or whatever.
Yeah, normally when someone gets over on someone in the go-home show, that means they're going to lose at the pay-per-view. So it might be I can see why you would pick Nikki. It's not an unsafe bet if you're just going by laws of averages and stuff.
No forward for this match.
But, yeah, I think the storyline between Bayley and Sasha is much more poignant with those titles involved.
Yeah.
All right, what's next, Caden?
After that is going to be the WWE Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Sasha Banks.
All right. And again, I'm not going to go into it again because I just basically went over it. But because of all the reasons I just said, because you need to put them both at the top and give them a reason for their egos to just overwhelm and not fit in the same room. Because, the top's a very, very small point, and you can't fit two giant fucking heads up there. Sasha getting this one.
Whoa!
And I hate to say it because I love the only other woman that I love more than Asuka. Is Ember Moon, but I think this is the story they want to tell. Go with my gut decision here, and it's unfortunate as it is because Asuka's great as a champion. As far as a marketable champion, she is so likable and so much fun to watch. She's so much wholesome and so fun to watch on YouTube. Just outside of it, her real personality, her real life, she's just kind of such a wholesome person. She's someone you can really market. I know she doesn't speak English the best, Vince, but don't let that fucking attract you. I hang on every single one of her promos. I hang on every word of it, and I don't understand a damn word of it. It doesn't matter. She's absolutely money. So give her everything she wants, pack her to the moon. But right now, for the Bayley and Sasha storyline, this is where we got to go. Sadly. Give us the championship later after they implode. That's one of the ways they implode is Sasha loses in a rematch to Asuka after her and Bayley start fucking off.
All right. Well, remember when I just said we haven't reached the climax of this story as Bayley is SmackDown Women's Champion?
Right.
This is the night that we do reach that climax. Because although Sasha, and this has happened numerous times in this story now, although Sasha has been helping Bayley fails to return the favor sometimes. So with that being said, I'm going with Asuka with this. And Asuka's time as champion is still building and building. She's one of the most decorated champions ever.
No, that's not an unreasonable way to go because that's another way they implode. Bayley retains and Sasha doesn't get her belt, so she's still the odd man out without a title.
And that's how
jealousy just grows. I get it.
The jealousy grows, and this is going to lead up to something different.
This is something we said a couple of weeks ago. They wrote themselves into a position where you can go have it in several ways, and they all work, and they're all satisfying. They wrote this one very well. And yes. I don't give you guys props very often, but kudos.
Asuka for the win.
I am also on the Asuka train myself. I think that she's been in the tag team scene a little bit too long, and this is going to be her reignition into the singles territory. And in NXT she was just dominating, and then she met up with the bloodline, the Miss Flair there, and that kind of derailed everything. But I think it's time for her to get back on top and then run through the female division.
No, I don't think so. I think Asuka's the winner in this one.
Well, none of this is going to matter as soon as one of us to run up against Shayna Baszler. So
yeah, you got to remember, Shayna just came back, so the only other strong person outside of Shayna Baszler as an NXT champion was Asuka.
But you give Bayley and Sasha the championships and let, maybe Bayley, Asuka earns a rematch for the title against Sasha, and that psychotic pit bull Shayna Baszler challenges.
BMF.
She is a bad motherfucker. And I say pit bull in the most loving way. I have a pit bull who I love very much.
Oh,
that could be the next challenger once they have the belts, and then maybe Asuka beats Sasha and Bayley loses to Baszler, and then they're there with no belts, and that's maybe one of the things. There's so many different ways you can have them implode, and revolve it around the fact that they think their ego and their self-worth revolves around how much gold they have. So a lot of good ways to do this. Last one, man.
Main event.
The main event, the still undetermined, unknown WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler.
You're up first, Bubba.
You know what? As much as I want to say the opposite guy, because, they're both great. It's almost obvious that I'm going to go with Drew. Certified BMF. This is just going to be another notch under Drew's belt. Pretty much. He's just now starting his legacy as WWE champion. They're not about to end it that quickly. Not with Dolph. And I wanted to say Dolph so badly. I want to say Dolph. But right now, Drew is the face of the company.
He's a good one.
And,
it's like a sexy Sean Connery from the early James Bond days. With a ponytail borrowed from Steven Seagal.
And on top of that, he's
a beard borrowed from Billy Mays.
He's Vlad's man crush.
No, my man crush is fucking Jason Momoa. And I'm not going to even fucking front about that.
Well, it's almost, if Roman Reigns and Drew had a baby, that's what it'll turn out to. So, yes, my prediction, Drew, Claymore kick. It's going to be a tip-top match because, of course, Dolph is picking the stipulation, and Dolph knows Drew very well, but that's the thing. Drew knows Dolph as well. So he probably already can predict the stipulation, anything like that. But he sounded pretty serious when he said, I'm going to hate you. I'm going to hate you bad.
That was terrifying. That was utterly terrifying. Caden, man, who do you got?
I am also going with Drew McIntyre, but let's all be real here. The fans are going to be the winners. This is going to be a showcase match. Dolph and McIntyre are both fantastic in the ring, and them two working together is just going to be money.
Dolph is a jobber to the stars, which is better than he used to be, which was a jobber to the people coming from NXT to the main card. So, God bless him for making this feud seem plausible for at least 10 minutes with the way he got under Drew's skin and stuff. Mm-hmm. But Dolph is not winning this match. It doesn't matter what stipulation he pulls out. It's not. We do not need a Dolph Ziggler championship. And if you're watching this, if any of the 10 people who watch these damn videos happen to work for WWE, don't try and swerve us by changing this.
Don't.
We don't need a Dolph Ziggler championship run. We're fine without it. He's cool where he is, all right? And you mentioned Bobby Roode before, so we know he's still hanging around. He's going to bring him back at some point. Let them do their thing. They're fine. We need more tag teams anyway. But we don't fucking need a Dolph Ziggler championship. Drew's going to claymore him into oblivion, and it's going to mean something because Dolph's been digging into his emotions now for a while. So good on Dolph for making this an interesting rivalry, but we know where it's going.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Those were our predictions for Extreme Rules. We will have the follow-up video for you, I don't know, maybe Monday or Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. But we'll get that up for you guys, and we'll start a tally going. We'll see who, I don't know, we'll get we can make the bets for each one, but maybe we can keep a tally running and
go for the year.
Go for the year, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go from now until WrestleMania, and then we just start at each WrestleMania each year.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
We'll have to do a big prize for the person who wins, though.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on our first prediction episode. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys here in a couple of days when we get the results. And we announce who won.
Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and tell your friends' friends about us. I'll come after you.
I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to maim you.
I am Vlad St. Valentine. This has been The Only One Who Matters, Reggie Lincoln, and our lovely co-host / producer over here, Caden. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will have the results on this Monday's Raw review. So tune into that if you want to see the results for who won this pay-per-view.